John chapter 14, verse 1. Jesus says, do not be troubled. And then he says something that I would never think to say. Don't be troubled. If I were writing the Bible, I would say, don't be troubled, watch Oprah. Or, don't be troubled, just run. Or, don't be troubled, take medication. Or, don't be troubled, make sure you work really hard and put a lot of money away so that you don't have to worry about the future and retirement and your kids having to take care of you. I would have come up with some sort of earthly scheme to try to figure out what I can do to fortify the fortress so that I don't have to be afraid. But that's not what Jesus says. Jesus says, don't be troubled, believe in God, believe also in me. What is that? It just doesn't even seem to make sense. Don't be anxious. Don't be this. Believe in me. What is Jesus telling us? As we look at this text, I think this is anxiety reliever number 1. This is a correct diagnosis of your problem. Jesus is diagnosing why you are anxious. And he tells us it's a faith issue. It's not a circumstance issue. It is a faith issue. Why would he say, don't have anxiety, believe in me? I think that he is diagnosing our problem for us. And I think that this is backed up then in Matthew chapter 7. What does Jesus say? In another lengthy discourse on anxiety, Jesus says, look at the lilies of the field. Look at the sparrows of the air. God takes care of them. Why do you worry about tomorrow? All together now. Oh, you of little faith. Look at the harmony of our lecture on anxiety. Anxiety is a faith issue. Now, if Jesus says that anxiety is a faith issue, it's because we have little faith. What exactly does he mean? I think he's addressing 2 types of little faith. If you have anxiety, you have little faith, possibly, in that the object of your faith is little. When you have anxiety, you've got a faith problem in action. You are believing in something small, and usually when you're fretting, it's because you're believing in you. You're believing in yourself. You're believing in your abilities. You're believing in your strategies, your wisdom, your position, your status, your finances, how clever you are to control the future. So when you have anxiety, when you find yourself worrying about and just, ooh, how is this going to go? Chances are very good it's one of these 2 things. You're believing in you, and I would be worried too. I mean, when Jesus diagnoses it again back in Matthew chapter 7. Can you do anything about tomorrow? You can't do a thing. So if you're putting your trust in you, no wonder why you have anxiety. You're believing in something little. You're believing in you. Stop having little faith. Or there's another option with having little faith, and that is you've got a little faith in God. I'm not saying you're not a Christian. I'm saying that your faith in God in the moment is little. What does God tell us? I have you in my hand. I know you. The hand, by the way, that measures the universe by the span of his hand, the one who has created everything, who stoops to Noah, says, I've got you, little one, I've got you. And when we are really not believing that, we get anxious because we're having a little faith in the one who says, don't worry, I mean all things for your good and for my glory. And so what I see in the text here is our first anxiety reliever, and that is a diagnosis of your problem. If you're anxious, it's a faith issue.